Giyu vs Shinobu. Yes, we are back to some good old Demon Slayer topics since I was rereading the manga and thought it would be cool to go back to the series that I made my first video on. So this video's topic is going to be Giyu vs Shinobu in every arc, a simple and calm video to get us started back on the Demon Slayer arc. First, for introductions, Giyu Tomioka is the current water pillar and the one who saved Tanjiro at the start of the series. And Shinobu Kocho is the current insect pillar and the second Hashira we got introduced to besides Giyu. So I do think it is pretty fitting matchup, right? The first arc we will begin in is the Mount Natagumu arc, where at this point we aren't fully even aware of who or how strong the Hashira are until after this arc, but Giyu and Shinobu do make appearances here and even encounter each other, which we will be going over soon, but first let's go over Giyu's feats and showings in this arc first. One of Giyu's first feats in the arc is against Rui's father, or the Father Demon. Giyu simply appears, saving Inosuke by just perception blitzing the demon with a breath form, taking him out with relative ease. After that, Giyu proceeds to also blitz Inosuke so bad that he doesn't even realize that Giyu even tied him up while he's talking. Shortly after this, Giyu appears to save Tanjiro from Rui's threads, being able to cut them all in one go. Rui decides to get serious and uses Blood Demon Art to the max, but Giyu countered and blitzed Rui by cutting all of his threads before he could even see him move. And Rui states this is his strongest thread, so we are aware that that was his strongest attack. So the narrative is already being set that Hashira are leagues above everyone else, for example, Tanjiro and his friends and the Spider Demon family. Giyu then beheads Rui, blitzing him once again before he can launch another attack or just think in general. Once that fight is over, this is where he finally encounters Shinobu, blocking an attack from her, when she attempts to kill Tanjiro. Giyu was also able to catch up to her and subdue her when she was attempting to flee away, to where, in a way, they stalemate with Shinobu attempting to take out Giyu, and Giyu going for the counterattack, but before either of these actions could be completed, both of them were halted to stop by a crow. That's pretty much all for Giyu's feats in the arc, and to quickly go over what Shinobu does and her unique fighting style. Shinobu uses Wisteria Poison to make up for the fact that she cannot behead demons, being skilled in chemistry more than swordsmanship. Now that we've went over her different fighting style, we can go over her quick feats in this arc, which consists of her being able to avoid and weave past all of the Spider Sister's attacks. Shinobu's also very intelligent, being able to tell how many humans the sister had eaten. Shinobu's easily able to blitz the sister demon, landing a breath form on her, which kills her quickly due to the Wisteria poison. That would conclude with all of their scaling and feats for the first arc at least. Which now leads us to the question, who is stronger between the two? Well, although Giyu was able to subdue her, it wasn't really a fight, it was just more Giyu catching her, so it's not a normal setting. Giyu is also able to react to Shinobu's thrust attacks when she tries to take out Nezuko, and since she is trying to take out a demon, I don't think she would really be holding back in any regards, whether it is her speed or AP, but regardless, Giyu was able to react and block her attack. So Giyu can definitely react to her attacks, although I do think Shinobu is still somewhat faster than Giyu. But if you are not aware, it's pretty consistent that Giyu can react to things that are not on his level or faster than him in general. Shinobu's poison wouldn't work on Giyu due to it only working on demons, with it being Wisteria poison, although Shinobu's stabbing methods could be useful against the human, just being able to stab their eye out or poke a hole in their head and stab their brain. But once again, if Giyu can react to her, it makes it hard for her to get in and actually do any lethal damage. Now, Giyu, on the other hand, should be able to deal with her and do damage quite easily due to him having the power and a weapon that can cleave limbs off and has the AP to cut demons' heads off with ease. So they both after their pros and their cons. But I do think Giyu wins this one, and that's due to the fact that he should be able to counter most Shinobu's attacks while also being able to tag her. The biggest obstacle for him, I'd say, would most likely be the zigzag attack, but even with that, Giyu could just use Dead Calm and slice her up with Dead Calm before she can even get in proximity of him, before she can, perform a thrust attack. Giyu's Dead Calm could probably work as an offensive kit as well if he activates it when someone is close or approaching him. It would almost look like how Sukuna did Kashimo with the world cutting slash in a way. So I do think overall Giyu is stronger and takes this with a bit more leeway on his win. This would move us immediately to the Infinity Castle arc, where we will be doing base Giyu versus base Shinobu and then mental aim Shinobu versus Mark Giyu. So starting off, In Infinity Castle, we can go over a quick analysis over their abilities and scaling. We'll start off with Shinobu this time around. Shinobu matches up against Upper Moon 2 Doma, which, not sugarcoating it, in her base, she does absolutely nothing. But she does get praised for her speed by Doma, and she's also able to tag him quite a few times. But why this isn't truly valid is due to Doma not really trying, and why I think this is the logical case is due to the fact that when Doma learns she can't cut off his head, and over the time she learned that her poison also can't kill him after breaking it down. At this point, I just feel like there's no reason for Doma to try or be serious in the slightest. You'd have to go through mental gymnastics to say Doma was using anywhere near his full power, and that's because he wouldn't be in any danger since she can't cut off his head, so he wouldn't be any danger. He wouldn't be thinking like, oh, I need to try in this regard, right? Base Shinobu is definitely nowhere near Doma's level, although he does compliment her speed. He only remarks that it makes him certain that she's a Hashira, and also the first beast thing attack she does on Doma, he states that he could not stop it with his hand, which is more just a miscalculation on his part since he underestimated her and used his hand instead of a fan or just simply moving out of the way. And this could have just been her small blade slipping through his fingers, or it simply pierced through his body, which wouldn't really be a significant feat for Shinobu at all. Not trying to shit all over her, Shinobu, but I just want to get through everyone's head that as far as her base goes, her feats against Doma truly don't get her anywhere. That deserves praise or is something incredible, which would now move us onwards towards base Giyu in the Infinity Castle. Giyu is able to contend with the Akaza pretty well as his defense holds up against his attacks, being able to nullify disorder with Dead Calm, and is also able to be fast enough to stop Akaza's attacks on Tundra, outpacing his attack speed and continuing to keep up his relativity until he blocks Akaza's leg style attack and gets sent flying through the Infinity Castle by the sheer force of it, which is all we have for base Giyu. Now, for wins between the two, I think it's clear from the last matchup that Giyu would win, and I'll explain why that holds relevance. Shinobu technically should be at the same level of strength she was at Mount Naragumo, and that's due to her not training or participating in the Hashira training arc. While on the other hand, although it was late, Giyu did participate in the Hashira training arc and even sparred against Sanemi, so he should be slightly or even a tad bit stronger. And that weaker version of Giyu still manhandled Shinobu, so I feel like that fight would go oddly similar to the first round. And while I also feel like if people say Shinobu had a rage amp before her mental amp, it's pretty blatantly stated with her interaction with Tanjiro that that she's like passively angry, so she would always have a rage amp in certain regards, right? So I just think similar to the first round between the two, with Giyu just beating her even worse due to being stronger than his Mount Natsugumo self, which was still above her at base. Now we move on to the most interesting and more complex matchup, which is Mark Giyu versus Mental Imp Shinobu. I give a short summary of their new feats. Giyu was able to become way faster and almost cut Akaza's head, blitzing him, eventually making Akaza try and go dead relative with him, trading blows and going relative, only falling short when he starts to finally succumb to fatigue. So Giyu should be at his level at the bare minimum when he's full on stamina. Now, Shinobu, on the other hand, when she gains her mental amp, not anything truly changes since it's hard to prove she actually got faster. Since the move she used was specifically one to disorient her movements, but I do think she is faster, but I don't think it's to a significant boost. It will be hard to prove that it was significant boost due to the fact that Doma from the start was already commenting that she was fast, and him doing it again while she has her mental amp wouldn't change much. But similar to the last matchups, I do think Giyu takes this, and that's due to him once again having a direct counter to her disorientation move with his Dead Calm. And although she is faster than Giyu, it's pretty clear that Giyu can react to things that are faster than him, especially with Dead Calm amping his reaction speed. Giyu should be able to react and counter her ace in the sleeve, which is why I think the win would go to him. I don't really think it's super close. Anybody with good reaction speed and a defense or attack that could intercept her technique could honestly annihilate her. Which brings me to the end of my video now that I have wrapped up my topic. If you enjoyed this topic, I would appreciate it if you left a like and possibly subscribed if you're new. And also leave a comment for your own thoughts and opinions. If you agree or disagree with my takes or not, I usually see and respond to most of the comments, whether someone is agreeing or disagreeing. But that's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.